All right, welcome back. We are moving on to part 3 of this tutorial. My audio should sound better now. I apologize if my audio was low on the other ones. Somebody had made a comment about starting a fund for a new microphone for me, which was kind of amusing, and I appreciate that. But I actually purchased a microphone a couple of months ago, and it worked at one point in time, so I was kind of baffled as to why somebody was making a comment like that. So I went and listened to my video to see what they were talking about, and I noticed my audio was extremely low. So I was a little confused as to what was going on there. But I discovered that at some point I turned my microphone input down to like 50%, so that's probably why it was so low. So you should be able to hear me better now, hopefully. So, but I think where we finished off in part 2 was with the comments, and I think what we were planning on doing in this one was going ahead and moving on to profile. So let's, all right, we've already got a folder here, so let's create a page for that. Now, a couple of ways you can do this. Excuse me. You can have a single page if you want, and you can set that up as a public profile page as well as a private, and then you can just define conditions depending on whether it's the auth user looking at it, or if it's the auth user's page, or if you're looking at like some other user's page. But I typically, for when I do stuff like this, I like to have separate pages. So I don't have to run the gauntlet of using conditional visibility on certain things and then making sure that the layout works out correctly, because not everything that looks right in FlutterFlow will translate the same over to a device, especially different types of devices. So just splitting those pages into 2 different pages I find is a little bit simpler to deal with long term. So let's go ahead and start with like the private user profile. So I'm going to just call it that. Probably don't want to call it private user profile. Realistically, in a real world environment, especially if you're using deep linking and things like that. But yeah, we're just going to call it that for now. And like always, I'm going to get rid of that and that. And I'm just going to start out here with a blank page. And I am going to go ahead and drop a stack in here. Now, some people like to use create components for widgets that they might be using across different pages. To each their own. I actually don't prefer that for certain cases. So for like when I'm doing like my nav bar, I don't really care to create a component that I use across different pages. I find it to be kind of a waste of time getting that configured when I can just copy and paste it and do it like that. But everyone does it their own way. So, you know, if you prefer to make a component for your nav bar, then go for it. Nobody's stopping you. All right, so I'm going to drop that in there. And now let's see. I'm trying to decide how I want to model it. I don't want it to be exactly like TikTok. Done that 1,000 times. So let's see, our prime. Oh boy. Okay. This is new, I guess. FlutterFlow's done it again. All right, so since doing this yesterday to today, they have changed yet again the layout of something else. It's just it drives me nuts that they do that. Like it really does. It is my biggest pet peeve with FlutterFlow, and it's almost like they do it just to be annoying. But you know, as a developer who has spent a good bit of time, specifically me and other people like me, perfecting our ability to work inside of FlutterFlow and be proficient and fast, a big part of that is knowing where our stuff is, right? Knowing how everything's laid out. and having the thing look the same consistently. And so when FlutterFlow makes a layout change that actually doesn't do anything really for efficiency and doesn't actually add any benefit, it's just different looking, then it messes with stuff, and it drives me up the wall when they do that. Okay, all right. So anyway, I guess that's, I don't even know. Yeah, it's transparent. What is this? It's all just, okay. I want that to be slightly darker, just a little bit. All right, and then let's go over here and we can put our column in there, and of course it's overlaying our nav bar. So let's put that in the middle and right click and bring our nav bar back to the front so it's not overlaying that. And of course our nav bar is sitting at, what do I have it at 88, so I'm gonna pad the bottom of this by, and probably 88 would be fine. So they're kind of even there. And then up here at the top, we want to do something kind of similar to what we did before, where we will do a container, and we're going to make it, oh my goodness, yeah, that's really annoying. I wish they wouldn't do that. And we're gonna, what was the other one? Was it like 7%, I think, of the screen height? So I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. So we'll set it at 7%. However, you know what I should have done first so that I can actually visualize that. Let's get rid of that real quick, and let's go ahead and set it at 7. And then set our variable here. Okay. All right. Now I think I'm going to go with another container and go full width with it, and then we'll kind of adjust the height of it dynamically. I'm just going to make it big for a second so I can work with it. And then I'm going to put another column and pad it, I guess, by like 6 probably. Be fine. And now I want to do another stack and an image. And for the width, I'm probably going to set it at like 97%, 96. And it's a little further than what I want. Let's try 94. Okay, that'll work. And I am going to round the corners by 12, so a little bit more rounding on there. And then bring that down some more and get out of my way. The stack. First of all, let's check our image width. We can just do infinite here in a minute. So it's 200 is the height. So let's go ahead and go to our stack real quick and set that. So let's set the stack to infinite, and let's set the height on it to like 225. Yeah, that'll be good. Which we actually, I want this to also be white now that I think about it. So let's set that back to white like that. All right, and I want the children of my stack to be positioned at the top, which looks like alignment on that's in the middle. So I'm positioning my photo center top. All right, and now in my stack, I'm going to drop a container in here. And the reason that I set definitive variables with the infinite width and then the height of the stack to like, I think it's 225, is so that I can move my stacked objects around in here. If you don't set those definitive statements in your stack, then you won't be able to move it freely around. Now I do want to, that's not what I want to do. I want to make this round, and I want to make it like, I don't know, 50? No, it's way too small. Let's do 70. All right. And then I'm going to grab this and bring it down. Right there will be fine. That's fine on the y-axis, but the x-axis I want it to be center, so I'm just going to go over there and highlight and set it to 0. And make sure we're centering our children, and then I'll grab a circle image and put it in there as well. And then I'm just going to pad that by like 2, I think, or 3. Okay. All right, so now I can see kind of what that looks like. I'm going to grab the container. I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit further, just about halfway, and then of course I need to, I'm on the circle image now. Let's grab the container again. Let's make sure that this is set to 0. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be all right. I don't know. Kind of want it to be a little bigger. Seems small. Up to 90. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. So I'm gonna leave it like that. All right. So now, let's see here. What do we want to put in here for the user's profile? Do you want to show their followers, I guess? Maybe followers and likes. How about that? Or following and likes. So let's do a row. And I'm not going to show the user their own username. That seems redundant. Okay. And then a column and whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I want to highlight that column and duplicate it. And then I can probably make that smaller and bold and pat the top of it like 2. Oops. Okay. All right, and so this one, we'll have this as, let's just do followers, and then we'll do this one as likes. Okay, that'll work. So we'll leave that alone for now. I'm just going to set placeholders. We'll come back to that in a minute. I do think I want this somewhat larger here. Okay, and then down here, so what I think I'm going to do, just to make it kind of different, so I'm actually going to scoot this up, and then on the border on the bottom corners, which is probably not even enough to notice it, so we're going to do 50 and 50. And then we'll drop another container in here, maybe 20, and then infinite. Okay, looks interesting. All right, So now I want to kind of determine how I want to do this. I'm trying to decide how I want to make this work in here. There's obviously different ways that we can do it. Ideally, okay. So this thing, let's see what it's taken up 7%. This container is going to take, we're going to swap this over. It's 50%, way too much. Let's go to like 35 or 38, 37. Yeah, that's good. 37%. And then let's do this. Okay, so we'll do is 37%, and then that's what, 7%, I believe is what we set that as. So that's 44% total. I don't want it to take up the whole screen. So I'm going to set this as, let's see. Let's try 66 be too long. Is too long. 40. All right, I'm just gonna leave it at 40% for now, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. We may just extend that all the way out. That's tough. That's a tough call on what I want to do with that. Leave it alone for now. All right, so next thing that I want to do then is, you know what? Never mind. I'm getting rid of that. I don't like it. Not a big fan anyway, so I think I will leave this the way it is, but maybe get rid of some of that though. That rounding is a little bit extreme. All right, so we'll leave it like that for the time being. So now we can drop this directly in here if we want to, which would then mean that this space is scrollable. The whole page is not scrollable, but this space is. So let's look at our smallest screen. So that's not that bad. That handles that pretty well, although it's cutting this off, it looks like, which is a problem. Although it's tough to say if it's actually dynamically adjusting inside of the editor. I doubt it is. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know. We may go back to the basics on it. I'm kind of indifferent on what I actually want to do here. So yeah, I'm getting rid of that. Let's just set this thing to white. All around white. Looks great. Okay, and paste that back in there. All right, so I'm going to do one more of those, which we are going to do this here. There we go. Now back to kind of what we're talking about. So we can drop that in there and then make this space in here scrollable, and all of this stays visible. Alternatively, if we wanted to, we could wrap it. So we could put that there and then wrap this, and then we can make our parent column scrollable, which obviously you want to do away with that padding. And then when you scroll, your picture and everything would go up along with the scrolling. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's because I set that to scroll, so we would need that column, and we'd actually want to like position it at the top like that. So it really depends on if you want to maintain this stuff in the viewpoint for the user, or if you want it to scroll up as the user scrolls down. But I think for the sake of what we're doing here, I know I said I'm not going to make this look like TikTok, but look at me. I'm making it look like TikTok anyway, I guess. So we're actually just going to get rid of all of that, and then we want to set that to non-scrolling. So we'll go ahead and toss that back in there. Like that. And I might bring that down some. Am I going to need that for anything, that third one, or am I only dealing with two? Can't remember what we were going to do here. Now I'm going to set this icon, do like video, something. What's that? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Let's just I'm just gonna use that. That's fine. And then this example one, I'm just gonna erase that entirely, and then I'm gonna set the align horizontally to true. And then I'm going to pad the top of this thing by like 30, maybe not 30, maybe 20. Yeah, 20 looks good. Okay. And then kind of the same thing over here. But this is going to be for something else. So what do we want to do here? We can put it as, I guess, maybe content that's been liked. So we can do heart. Is what I set that as. Yeah, okay. And then let's actually go and edit this, and for our color there, oh, that's not gonna work. I need to set it to white, because I don't want an underline on it. I'm just gonna do it like that. And the icon color. Yeah, let's define the icon color a little bit. So I guess if it's in view, so I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna just do a conditional. And so if let's do this single condition. If the tab bar current index is equal to 0, then we will set this to just do like that blue color. Otherwise, we want it to be, do secondary text, and then the default will be secondary text as well. And then I'm just going to copy this variable and go over here to this one and paste it in here, and then of course change this to 1, so 0. All right, so that'll give us some change here in that color variation. All right, so now that I've dropped my icons down, I'm actually going to scoot that back up because we've gained a little bit of room. All right, now for our content here, which I'm kind of feeling, oh, I know what I want to do. I want to set this to the tab bar to scrollable, so that it scoots them in really close. But then I want to pad them, label padding for both of them. So probably not even going to be close to near enough. So let's do like, that'll probably be far too much. 32. We'll land on 32 on either side. Okay. All right, so now let's take care of our feed here. So for that, what we're going to do first, let's go ahead and stick a column in there and let's set it to scrollable. And then let's do a wrap. And we're going to do container. And we're just going to kind of adjust the size on here. Get it set up how we want it to look. And I'm going to change the color of the container so I can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and set a query on this container. Get eyes on it, but we'll change this stuff here in a minute. All right. And let's see here. Oh, oops. Oh my goodness, we're jumping all over the place here. All right, let's do that. There we go. Okay. Oh, and then we need to set this. I'm going to set this to 4, I think. That should be what I want. I also need to, let's get rid of that query now. And let's move that over like that. Oops. All right, and then let's see. No, I don't think we want it that far over. Let's go back here. No, we don't want that either. All right, let's do it like that. That'll work. Okay, might bring that down some. Oh. All right, that looks good. So let's get rid of this query. We don't want that. And then let's do, let's change this. And this doesn't really matter. Just change it to white for now. And I am going to round off the edges slightly, like 4, with like an elevation of 1, maybe. Okay. All right, so let's jump over here to our video image posts, and I'm going to set let's do this. Let's set it as, we need a thumbnail, so we're going to do thumbnail URL. And we'll set it as an image path. And thinking about now, kind of, I think what I want to do here, I'll show you in just a second instead of doing likes. So let's go ahead and get our collection queried for video image posts, list of documents. Uploaded by reference needs to be equal to our authenticated user. And content type, we're going to set this to, I think I hope that's what I had set it as. I'm going to do it as video. And then do upload, decrease. Okay. All right. And I am going to set a limit on here, 150. Okay. All right, and then let's set the background image on here, which I need it like a filler image so we can see this a little bit better. Let's just grab this here. And then we're going to set background image, which we grab that, and we're going to do thumbnail. And then fill this in as the filler. All right, that should work. Okay, and then I want to do a couple other things. So on this container, let's maybe I should have done that first. I don't know. Yeah, let's cut that out and drop a stack in there, and then put your container back in the stack. And now in the container part, let's put an icon, and we're going to do in the center. We'll do a play button. We'll make that white. All right, and then on the stack for that container, I'm going to do another container, which before I do that, what did I set that as 4? Okay. Go ahead and, oops, that's right, we need to set our stack. We need to make sure we define that real quick. So our 116 and 172, so on our stack here, all right, now we should be able to do this. Okay, and then for the color, we're going to go over here, go to black, and then make it kind of semi-transparent, like that. And then I'm going to drop a column, center it, and put some text in there, and then set that to white. Do this. Okay. All right, looks good. And then this container here that we're using to kind of overlay, we want to set visibility condition here for that document. And I believe that we put this in here is draft. So we want to set it's only visible if draft is true. And it goes away. Okay. All right. That's good. And then, like I said, instead of doing that, I'm going to change this icon, and I'm just going to change it to video. Like this, I think. Huh. I didn't know that I was doing that on that side. That's weird. I'll copy that and put it back over here. Thought I was working in the video side, but I guess I didn't really know because we can't see the color change. So you want to make sure that's on the video side, and then on this side, we're going to change this to photos. we are going to get rid of, we don't need any of that really. We're not going to need any of this either. That, and get rid of that. Don't want that on there as well. And yeah, so we can just leave it like that. Of course, we do want to set our condition here for the filter to photo. And I hope that's how I have that set up universally across the entire app. I'm going to have to double check that so that we show the right thing in here. All right, so that looks all right. Roll with that for now. It'll be fine. So we do need to change or modify, update some of this. So obviously the user is going to have a banner image. So that'll be set to the authenticated user's banner image. You know what? I think what we're going to do instead there is probably a better idea of how to handle this, again, for efficiency's sake. So let's do it like this. So let's go in here and set an app state variable. Let's set it to image path and is persisted, and let's do persisted as well. Let's take care of that real quick. So we're not going to draw this down as a read from the database. We're going to grab it from app state so that we're reducing our reads as much as possible. So do it like this. And same thing here for this image. For user profile image. Okay. And then we can do something similar here. This stuff will just run as query from the background, or from the back end. Just to maintain consistency there, but I think as far as followers, stuff like that, we could show that to the auth user locally. So let's do, well, the problem is we won't be able to update that if somebody stops following them. So you know what, never mind. We're not gonna do it that way. We're just gonna maintain it here. So all right. But in the user, let's do this. Following me. And since we're going to be doing multiple different places where you can grab likes, we're just going to do an integer count. And now I can plug that stuff in here. So followers. Let's see, follow me, B. Oops, I have that written as both the same thing there. So we'll do followers here, following me. And we'll do likes. And let's change this to following. Okay, that'll work. Something else I want to add in here as well. Before I forget about it, we need to go right here. And I probably should have put a stack on here, to be honest with you. Would have been a better way to handle this, because I don't really want this to feed out from the parent stack. I want the stack isolated here. So I'm going to, where do I want this? We're going to do it inside the parent stack for the image. Let's do it like that. Let's put this back in there. Now we need to define the height on that stack. So this container is 90. Okay. Let's go ahead and just set its width to infinite, and then its height. Let's do 100. Let's take the container and put it at the top of that stack. And move the stack down here. We should be on the center of the x-axis, so that's good to go. And now in that stack, we can do a container and make it a circle, and then do like 35, just a little big. I guess we'll go right in the middle then. So we'll do 20, and then we're going to bring that over and stick it right here. And let's grab an icon and drop it in there as well. And make the icon a little smaller, and then we're going to set that to like a camera or something. Oh, there's what I needed. There we go. Do it like that. Okay, cool. That'll work. So you can update your profile picture like that, and we'll come back to all that in just a little bit. Okay, yeah, that looks good for this particular section here. Trying to debate if I want to do anything as like a menu option. Maybe, probably be a good idea. So we actually may want to make this container a little bit bigger. So let's copy that and then get rid of it. This thing's in the way. Maybe 9% will work, and then we'll do paste. Paste that back in there. Did it take it? 7%. We need to change to 9%. All right. Now I want the child of this to be at the bottom, and I'm going to put a row in there to the right and pad that in by like 12, and put probably an icon button in there. Be good. And get rid of all of these colors here. This new layout is driving me absolutely nuts. All right, and then I'm going to do a menu, and okay, yeah, I think it'll be all right. And then obviously we'll have like a end drawer pop out here, and set that as the button for the end drawer. Oops. Okay, yeah, that looks good. I like it. All right, so we've got the UI laid out for that. That's good to go. So let's now take a look real quick. We need to make it one for a public, and instead of rebuilding the wheel, we will just duplicate this sucker and rename it. I'm just going to call it public profile. And obviously we're not going to want, probably don't want this up here. I want this up here. Our end drawer, I'm not going to want that either. Get rid of that. And then let's set a page level parameter to user reference. And then let's go ahead and just generate document from reference on that user reference field we just made. And then we just need to swap these things around here. So let's copy that and change that from app state to user and do photo URL. And same thing here. And we can get rid of this. We don't want that. So it's followers. I am following. And their likes. And wait a minute. Did I set that the wrong thing? I am following. Yeah, I did set it the wrong thing. Following me. That's what we want. We want to set this to the other one. I am following. Oh, that's not right. What have we done here? I am following number of items. I didn't format it. Okay, compact. There we go. All right, so that's good to go there. We do want their name, obviously, because we want to know who they are. So I'm just going to drop a row in there and bring it down some, like 8, and then center it. And bring this up. That's a 24, so let's go like 18. Should be good, and then we'll just do this. Okay, and if we need a way to follow them, or to send them a message. So, yeah, I don't really want to pack this in too tight here. Start losing a lot of room. So for the public profile, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this stuff. I'm not gonna show this as public. You can show it if you want to, but I'm not going to. And I'm just gonna use this space to facilitate sending a message or liking the user. So I guess we just use a button and I'll do send message. I don't want it quite, I want it to be, let's see, yeah, more round than that, and let's do 150. That's not enough. Let's do like 220. Okay, and then I'm going to drop a container in here. Well, no, we're going to use this instead. Use a toggle icon button, and then set this. Yeah. Guess that blue color. I don't know. Or just secondary. Who cares? And then let's do Okay, yeah, looks good. And just do it like this, and then I'm just going to do some spacing between them. I think. All right, yeah, I'm fine with that. Looks fine. Might make it a little bigger though. Oops. I knew that didn't seem like it got bigger. Okay. I dig it. I think that looks pretty good. Huh. That's interesting. All right, so that'll work. So yeah, we need to swap this around too. So let's make sure we get that taken care of. So the main thing we want to change in here is who uploaded it. So it's going to be equal to this user. And same thing with photos. All right, cool. So that's good to go. So our user profile then is ready to rock and roll, as well as our public facing profile. So that's all good. Let's see here, I got 5. Where am I throwing an error at? This, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. I haven't done anything with that yet. All right, so that's taking care of the other stuff. Let's see, we need to work on our feed. Let's go ahead and get started on it. I know I'm really pushing time here. But let's go ahead and start on the feed at least. Gonna get rolling on it. Instead of having like an open forum feed, I'm actually going to set the feed so that the only things that show up in that feed are from users that you're following or your own posts or whatever. So let's do it that way. So let's do this, and I'm going to do post feed for this folder. And we're going to do just posts, I guess. Or post main, just for keeping it labeled well. All right. And I'm going to get rid of all this, as always. I'm going to turn safe area off and turn no back on. And let's see. Background, I want it to be white. All right, so kind of starting off like we do all of it. So let's grab a stack, drop that in there. We can run over here real quick and grab this. Post main, drop that in there. Oops. Oh, I hope I didn't just mess that up. Shoot. Okay. And then we can start creating our layout here for our posts. I think I'm trying to decide how we want this to look, really. I mean, I guess we can just do stereotypical posts, so won't do anything really crazy unique. So let's do. Let's get in here and do like this. Let's get our stack, and I guess let's just roll with a column. Well, I don't know that we necessarily need that. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else inside the column, so let's just go straight to a list view. And I do need to do this. Well, we do need that, unless we want our post to roll all the way off the screen. That'd be kind of interesting. Maybe we should do it that way. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we could do it that way. Hard to say. So I'm just going to leave it alone for now. So let's go ahead and take care of some of this stuff. Let's see, how do we want to construct this? I guess we can just drop a container in and work from there. All right, go to our list view. And I don't know, I feel like this is going to be a problem. Having it roll all the way up to the top like that. I don't know. I don't know, let's just, actually, let's do like a reverse type thing. Let's do a reverse list. Uh-oh. Something's wrong. There we go. And we don't want it to go all the way down, obviously. So we want this padding at the bottom to be like, what was that, 88, I think. And I think I also, first of all, we need to do something here. I need to be able to see this thing. Let's bring that in from the edges. And I kind of want it up off the bottom too. I don't really like that sitting all the way at the bottom there. 294. And we're going to adjust all of this in a minute, but let's go ahead and get this kind of configured how we want it. I will round the edges some. 16 is probably way too much, honestly. Let's do 8. I'm about to change the color on this thing because that orange is about to drive me mad. Let's go back to white and just give it elevation. That'd be the best way to handle it. Like 3. Okay. All right, and building out our post feed. Let's see, how do we want it to look? Start with a column, and we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll do 8, and we will do it like this. And an image, and make that smaller to like 40. Looks good. And let's do this here. Give it there. 6. And text. 12. Bold or semi-bold would be fine. Okay. And then let's also drop an image in here, or yeah, whatever. We'll just build it like that. So we'll do an image in there, and we can go ahead and go all the way out. Let's actually set our padding from up here, so let's do that, and do 6. All right, and I think I want this to actually be 4. Okay. Make this bigger so I can work in here. And then we'll do another row. Go down by 8 and put some more text in there, and we will wrap that. And lastly, let's see. Let's do just copy the row, I guess. Do that to 12. And then for our container, let's go ahead and get rid of the height there. Make it so it could be dynamic. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And let's do a row and another row. And then let's split those. Like 12 would be good. And then let's not do that yet. Let's actually put an icon in there. And now let's extend that row out. Push that icon all the way to the edge. Okay. Yeah, that should do it. All right. So that looks good. Now let's just do a couple of things here real quick. Let's do vertical. Oh, there it is. Do vertical dots, and yeah. All right. This tutorial is obviously running pretty long, I do believe. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, and then we'll pick back up on the next one, which I'll get the next part uploaded tonight as well. We'll go ahead and finish out the feed and get it set up so that the only feed posts that you see are your own, as well as the people that you're following. And then we will continue on from there and go to chat, get that set up. And then once we have chat set up, we should be able to, we need to set up the user's settings. It's not a big deal. It won't take very long. So we'll do that. But then we can start like playing around with setting up our action flows and stuff and our APIs. That'll be fun. All right, that's it for this one. Keep an eye out for the next one.